part of the NBA's inaugural in-season tournament. This is part of the 4-game group play section. It continues here.
He had never previously looked up at anyone in the jump ball circle. But how truly unique is this matchup? It extends well beyond the court. Wemby and Chet, both among the top 10 in NBA social media views among all players since the start of the preseason, with Wemby leading all players with more than 500 million views.
Nice, Jared. You're on your way there too, pal. See the starting lineups. They are presented by Kia. Spurs are a little banged up. They've got 2 key players out tonight. Keldon Johnson will not play. Trey Jones, backup point guard. It is Holmgren and Wembanyama. They tip it up, and it is the Thunder who control the opening tip. Lou Dort at the controls with Wembanyama on him. All these great designs on the floor. On the floors around the NBA for the in-season tournament. Gives it an interesting look as Giddey goes strong, and that's how the night begins.
Well, great pass by Holmgren. You start to see his skills, and Josh Giddey is an outstanding cutter.
Julian Champagnie into the starting lineup for the Spurs. It's his first start of the year. Vassell, he is an electrifying scorer. He comes up empty on his first try. So Dort, Williams, Holmgren, Giddey, and Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with the ball. He's gone for 30+ in 7 of his 9 games this year. Holmgren's got a much better supporting cast around him. Gilgeous-Alexander is a superstar, but Wembanyama, he has been at 19 years of age, leads this Spurs team in a lot of major categories, including points and blocks. That one misses wide. Wembanyama knocks it out of bounds. That'll be Oklahoma City ball. And Greg Popovich, the Hall of Fame coach, got his work cut out for him here this year, but what a talent he has in Wembanyama.
You can get the sense, though, that he's really energized coaching this young group. Not just Wembanyama, but all of them. Loves their potential and loves the challenge of developing a great young team, much like Oklahoma City has done with their group.
Oklahoma City into the play-in last year. That is blocked by Holmgren, but finished. Zach Collins was there for it. Holmgren had a 7-block game a couple of weeks ago against Cleveland. He's got a lot of skills. These 2 big guys, these 7-footers, so agile. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, his first try, no good. Wembanyama clears away the rebound. Spurs are 3-7 coming in. They've lost 5 in a row. Sohan lays it in.
Well, we saw an assist from Holmgren earlier, and then Wembanyama with a nice pass for an assist there.
Holmgren's not afraid. He doesn't shoot many, but he has been very accurate this year. Gilgeous-Alexander looking for help. And now Williams will let it fly. That's the one they call J-Dub. There's 2 Jalen Williams, if you're just getting to know the Thunder. And J-Dub is a star on the rise as well in his second year. Finished second in the Rookie of the Year voting last year to Paolo Banchero of the Magic. Zach Collins for 3. Gilgeous-Alexander, always a terrific rebounding guard. And Williams once again set up by Gilgeous-Alexander, not there this time. Wembanyama. And there's Holmgren. Wembanyama's been getting off to very slow starts, Stan. That is something that Greg Popovich and company in this find-out window they are in with Wembanyama would like to see him engage a little earlier. He's had great finishes. Goes behind the back here. Oh! Little sidestep and a jam by Wembanyama.
Right from the catch, that was a great move, showing his skills and his agility.
At 7'4", 7'5" with shoes on. And he and Chet Holmgren are so agile. Behind the back, finish it.
It just evades the help. This is a tough matchup. Look at the size difference down there. Jalen Williams on Wembanyama.
Sohan, and he buries a 3. The de facto point guard for the Spurs, Jeremy Sohan.
shooting fewer than 2 a game here to start the year, but he's over 39% now from 3. People don't see him as a shooter. They don't play him as a shooter. It helps when he can knock him down.
Giddey lays it in. Giddey's so strong. And at 6'8", he continues to improve his game as well. Mark Daigneault would like to see more out of Josh Giddey and to start this game as well. Oklahoma City, coach, they are primed for a run. They have a very talented roster. They've got a star in Gilgeous-Alexander and an emerging star in Holmgren, who's back after a foot injury knocked him out of last season. Bad turnover that time.
Those teams just traded bad turnovers there. Not seeing the defense in either case.
Third giveaway for Oklahoma City in the early going. Vassell looking for some space up and over Holmgren. There's Wembanyama and a couple of offensive rebounds in the putback. So he's active early tonight.
Well, using his size, and look, Oklahoma City outside of Chet Holmgren is a small team, and they have struggled mightily on the defensive boards.
Good pass, good finish. Giddey set him up beautifully. Williams with the dunk. Excellent ball movement.
Plays and pays instantly. But check, who's going to get the double-double tonight? Wemby or Chet?
I'm gonna go with Chet.
Chet?
Yes.
You don't think Wemby's going to get it?
I didn't say that. You asked me who I picked. I picked Chet.
Are we going? He's going with Chet. I'm going with Wemby.
And you might both be right at the end of the night as Cedi Osman just on the floor for the first time. Misses a 3. Gilgeous-Alexander with a rebound. He's taken just one shot. And Gilgeous-Alexander pulls the string on Champagnie. One of the great emerging superstars in this game, Stan.
No question. And a true MVP candidate.
Good look inside. Collins on a feed from Champagnie.
Well, second straight possession out of that timeout that OKC goes to their 1-2-2 zone. They find Collins open underneath.
Gilgeous-Alexander starting to put some roots down now. Back-to-back possessions. It had been just Giddey and Williams primarily for the Thunder. Started 4 of 5. The rest of the team was 0 for 5. But back-to-back possessions for Gilgeous-Alexander. Got a whistle in the paint on Champagnie.
Well, here's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just creating space on the dribble. Can get wherever he wants. And here gets inside and fades away over a great defender in Sohan. But really, SGA owes that to you, Brian. You did the reverse announcer jinx on him. You talked about him not getting any shots, and then he got him right away.
Sohan springs free inside. So the Spurs, one of the best assist teams in the NBA. They check in second in the league coming into play here tonight. They average nearly 30 assists per game, and they're sharing the ball well to start this one. 5 assists on 7 made baskets, and a couple of good looks inside. Jalen Williams at the controls. Vassell on him, kicks it to the corner. Lou Dort rains in a 3.
Lou Dort, an incredible start to the year shooting-wise. Over 50% from the floor, 48% from 3 coming in, and we know he's a great defender.
Into the corner, Cedi Osman answers with a 3 ball.
Well, the main three-point shooting for the Spurs comes off the bench with Osman and McDermott.
Jalen Williams, little mid-range jumper is good. All tied at 18 here. It is win or go home as far as the in-season tournament for the Oklahoma City Thunder. If they do not win tonight, they cannot advance to the knockout rounds. Spurs have 3 games remaining, so they're well in it, but need to rally as Williams goes all the way to the basket, scores inside, and the Thunder up 2.
Well, that was the best part of the Thunder a year ago. Create turnovers and score points off of them. Not as much this year, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who we saw get the steal, second in the league in steals right now. This is a very disruptive Oklahoma City defense.
Oklahoma City with a brilliant starting 5. They are an excellent scoring group among their starters. And Giddey comes up short. Vassell with the rebound. Substitutions coming for Mark Daigneault. Malachi Branham, and I think Holmgren got a piece of that. Branham recovers, and Ball knocked out of play. That'll be Spurs ball. Give us a chance to remind you that the NBA on TNT is brought to you by the Kia Telluride X-Pro. Kia, the official automotive partner of the NBA. And by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. So that was a foul on Dort. Free throws here for Branham. And there's Mark Daigneault. What a job he's done here. He and Sam Presti, who runs basketball operations, they seem like a great pairing, Stan, and they have really put together a nice team these last few years and may be ready to make a run.
Well, and Mark Daigneault made the point to us before the game. They are very, very young, second youngest team to San Antonio in the league, but there's not a lot of difference. But for a team this young, their guys have played a lot of games together. The four other starters besides Holmgren have been together now for a while and developed chemistry.
Bassey, his first run. McDermott and Williams with the steal. The other Jalen Williams. Isaiah Joe on the breakaway. Little Euro step, not there for him. In traffic. Who touched it last? That'll be out on Joe, and that'll be Spurs ball.
Outstanding defense there by McDermott. Turned it over, hustled back, used verticality to make the shot difficult. Great transition defense there.
Sohan at the point guard position. The Sohan experience. He's not a true point guard. The Spurs don't have one. Figure Branham will get some of the ball handling duties with the bench unit with no Trey Jones tonight. Late clock here. Sohan finds Branham, steps inside the line. Little mid-range jumper is good.
Outstanding. You know, we've gotten away from that a lot in the NBA. Shot fake, guys on a side step and shoot the three, but Branham there goes inside, gets the two.
23-20, Spurs in front.
He was really extra motivated to win it all because the World Cup was played in a COVID bubble in Latvia. Chet said if we didn't win gold, he would have regretted going. Tonight, guys, could be the start of a very long NBA rivalry between these two unicorns.
Yep, that's a great call, and it is so interesting to watch these two emerge. Now, Chet Holmgren, coach, he had essentially the red shirt year, had the foot injury last year, but he has come back with a lot more strength. They're both very lean, very thin, tall players, but Chet Holmgren is adapting well to NBA life, and he's kind of been in the wheel for a couple of years now. Wembanyama's been shocking how well he has played when he's really just being allowed to freelance right now, according to Greg Popovich. At some point, they will start to build a system around Wembanyama, but right now, they're in the find out window with him.
Well, and the big problem, or challenge, I should say, with Wembanyama is he's being asked to be the main guy on a young team, whereas that's not the case with Holmgren. Holmgren can fit in around a guy like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and then Jalen Williams, Lou Dort. He's got a lot more support.
Wembanyama leads the Spurs in points and rebounds and block shots. He also leads the Spurs in turnovers. Greg Popovich is willing to live with that for now. There will be a time when Greg Popovich starts to channel Wembanyama a little more and tailor what will be the Spurs system around Wembanyama, but that time is not here yet. Micic, nice look inside.
That's a great pass by Micic.
Cason Wallace on the receiving end. Thunder within a point here. Both coaches going to go deeper into their roster tonight. Here's Bassey now, pushes one off the back iron. Gilgeous-Alexander running with some of the bench players. Gilgeous-Alexander finds the backboard, lays it in.
He's so patient
and
down
explosive
there
too.
He gets down, he looks, freezes the defense. Great finish.
He's coming off 35 against Phoenix on Sunday. That was a nice win for the Thunder. They were down in the fourth quarter. Comeback win. Williams got a hand on that. Turnover for the Spurs. Micic scoops one to Gilgeous-Alexander, and nobody finishes better. He was looking for a foul. He lays it in with the left hand. Thunder lead it by 3 as we come to the end of the first quarter.
Well, that Spurs or Oklahoma City basketball force turnovers and turn it into points at the other end.
Another turnover. Micic leaves it again for Wallace. He can't finish it this time. Spurs
6 turnovers already for San Antonio.
Turning into 4 points for the Spurs. 9.9 left in the quarter. 9 to shoot here for Greg Popovich's Spurs. And Wembanyama back on the floor. Lou Dort will return, and Kenrich Williams will be making his season debut. He's a big part of their rotation. He's been out with a bad back. It's a nice hand on his way in.
Well, he's one of those guys that fans are always going to love. You know, plays hard, will give up his body, will sacrifice for the team. You get his best every single night, and he's a great glue guy that Mark Daigneault is very happy to have back.
And a foul from Williams, had one. 5.4 remaining in this first quarter. And first in the last 2 minutes. Be side out for the Spurs. Mark Daigneault, 38 years old, against the 74-year-old Hall of Fame coach, Greg Popovich. Almost a turnover, almost a 5-second count on Sohan.
Spurs are having trouble with Oklahoma City's defense here, particularly over the last couple of minutes. They apply a lot of pressure. They're in passing lanes.
Oh, good hands by Williams. That was going to be a wide open 3 without that deflection. Spurs have another chance at this side out. Branham will be the trigger man this time. Sohan rises up and cannot hit. That'll take us to the end of the first quarter. Wembanyama, 4 points, 6 boards. Chet.
Gilgeous-Alexander scored 10 of the last 17 there for Oklahoma City. Also in the quarter, 3 steals. One of the leading steal guys in the league. 2 rebounds, where he's also been great all year.
Gilgeous-Alexander will sit. He played the entirety of the first quarter, his normal rotation rhythm. Be interesting now to see what the Spurs do, shorthanded as they are. It's Collins for 3, and Champagnie can't wrestle it free. Micic with the ball in his hands. He's been a facilitator. And last touch by Williams. Wembanyama got a deflection right there, and it'll be Spurs ball. So you figure Malachi Branham will get some ball handling duties. Jetty Osman as well. Spurs don't really have a point guard anyway, but missing Trey Jones, Keldon Johnson, one of their top scorers, out tonight. Johnson's out with a knee injury. Trey Jones missing his 3rd game with a hamstring injury. Only spectators tonight. Might see a little bit of Devontae Graham as well. Foul called on Jalen Williams.
Those guys are giving away a lot of size inside. Holmgren obviously guarding Zach Collins. And so now Kenrich Williams draws the assignment on Wembanyama.
Branham takes it to the rack. A little contact. Collins comes away with the offensive rebound. Spurs have done a nice job on the glass. Wembanyama for 3. And that'll be last touch by Collins. That'll be Oklahoma City ball.
Well, that looked to me like it went off of OKC. Tough call there. And they are going to challenge the Spurs. It looked like that ball went off Kenrich Williams.
Well, Greg Popovich will ask
him before Pop challenged it. He probably heard me and decided to challenge it.
That's a bonus for you, Stan. Here's Champagnie, gets his own, missed it twice. Wallace comes away with the rebound. Remember the new rule, you get a second challenge. So Greg Popovich, you might not challenge that in the old rules when you had just one challenge. A lot of coaches would keep that until late, but gives you the option if you wanted to go early, and it worked into a possession. Spurs can't capitalize. They let Williams fire freely. Late clock. Collins late to close out, and Kenrich Williams has his first basket of the season.
He shot 37% from 3 last year, but as we've said, this is Thunder basketball. 7th steal of the night already for them. They turn it into points at the other end.
Case and Wallace with the dunk. He is another young player, a rookie, just 20 years of age, Cason Wallace out of Kentucky. Tell you, when Wembanyama puts the ball on the deck, Coach, it's like piranhas on him. There's a lot of space in his dribbling window.
No question. It's going to be a high dribble. The guy is 7'4". Doug McDermott comes in and knocks one down.
Wembanyama is turning it over, about 4 turnovers a game. Certainly an area he'd like to clean up. Williams leave it up top for Holmgren. They close it on him. It goes. No basket. Looked like he hit his head on the bottom of the backboard here. Yeah, it was an elbow. Oh yeah, Champagnie got him.
Well, because he didn't control the ball on the shot, they're not going to count the basket. They've got to re-look at that rule-wise. You can't take away the great play on the finish on that.
Williams changes direction, one of his signature moves. The Spurs were there for him.
Greg Popovich very happy to see the Spurs close down the paint there. He told us before the game he's been trying to get across the point to his defense that the paint is king.
Here's Holmgren for 3, and he hits one. Gonzaga on Gonzaga right there. Holmgren hits over Collins. McDermott and Collins with a 2-man game. Collins goes quick. Now Champagnie got his first start of the year tonight. And Collins with the foul, and Champagnie touches up Chet Holmgren.
Chet Holmgren gets space there. Collins doesn't close out hard. And Holmgren, who's shooting 50% from 3, 19 for 38 on the year after that one.
Williams on the drive, and he's met by Collins. He did get a step on Champagnie. So strong. He's got great size too, Jalen Williams at 6'6", 3-year player at Santa Clara. Second in the Rookie of the Year voting last year, and his game just continues to emerge. Micic, little sidestep, long 2, no good, and that's going to be a foul, loose ball foul on Williams. That'll put the ball back in the hands of the Spurs.
Yeah, this one's pretty obvious here. He just runs him underneath. And it's tough for Wembanyama to hold his ground. A very high center of gravity. Even as he gets stronger, he's just so tall.
Devontae Graham, little no-look to Wembanyama. The follow from Collins. First minutes on the floor for Devontae Graham. His minutes have been limited here to start the season.
We have a rare matchup of Wembanyama on Holmgren right now.
Kendrick Williams trying to go up and over Wembanyama. Wembanyama's got the post, leaves it up top, and a foul.
And I really like that by Wembanyama. Challenged the jump shot on Kenrich Williams, which means Kenrich Williams has to defend him, and he runs right to the rim, taking advantage of the mismatch, and he's inside and is fouled. But again, it's before the shot, ball on the side.
Just shy of 2.5 blocks per game, and a lot of those blocks coming on the perimeter, which turns into transition. And Wembanyama at 7'4", so impressive to watch him run. Inside, he spins open. Wembanyama with the left hand. No, Holmgren clears.
But Greg Popovich will like that one. Great execution and a great duck in by Wembanyama.
Micic finds Holmgren, resets. Wembanyama's on him. Holmgren can't hit it. That's a matchup we all came to see right there. Third time they have played against one another. They matched up in the preseason as well this year. Champagnie drills a 3-ball.
Well, great ball movement by a team that always has great ball movement. The San Antonio Spurs, almost 70% of their baskets this season assisted on. That's the best in the league.
Champagnie had missed 8 straight threes, was just 1 for 10 to start the year. So a big hit for him.
Really? Bro, I could never sing in front of this many people. Oh my goodness, dude. Oh my, that's disgusting.
Our State Farm audio assist. We appreciate Jalen Williams, J. Will, for wearing the microphone for us here tonight. Micic goes to the rack. He is fouled, so he's got free throws coming here. Vasilije Micic signed a 3-year, $23.5 million deal with the Thunder this past offseason. This is the first chance to remind you that the NBA on TNT brought to you by DirecTV. Stop compromising, start watching, upgrade to DirecTV. And by 1800, the world's most awarded tequila. Oklahoma City went on a 14-3 run to go up 8, their biggest lead. The Spurs then went on a quick little 8-3 run to cut it to 3, but now Oklahoma City by 4. Second quarter action here, in-season tournament play, and another Spurs turnover. Looking up top for Kenrich Williams.
Well, that's 8 steals from Oklahoma City and an easy one in transition. The Spurs have got to do a better job taking care of the ball.
8 turnovers for the Spurs, 8 points off those turnovers for Oklahoma City.
Well, you see how active they are with their hands. That's McDermott's 3rd turnover, I believe. And turning it into points. Last year they averaged over 20 points a game off of turnovers, 2nd best in the league, and forced the most turnovers in the league. Coming into tonight, they hadn't forced quite as many this year, but that is their game. And when they get back to that, that can make up for the problems that they have on the defensive glass.
Devontae Graham will let it fly. And Williams wearing the mic with the rebound. Let's send it over to Jared Greenberg. What do you have, Jay?
Well, guys, as you may know, that tonight is Kenrich Williams' season debut. He said last night was like the night before Christmas, could barely sleep. He was very frustrated with this back injury. Couldn't lift up kids, had trouble doing normal activities, but now is fired up to be back. He's considered one of the true glue guys and team leaders.
Those kind of guys are very, very valuable, and Kenrich Williams, one of the best in the league, playing that kind of role.
Last touch by Champagnie here.
And here's Wembanyama. When he gets the mismatch in transition, he's smart. He runs right to the rim, seals, and the Spurs find him. He does a great job of that. You don't see him post up in the traditional sense a lot, but he will run to the rim in transition when he has a mismatch.
Certainly altered that shot by Williams. Covers so much ground. It's a shock to the system to see it for the first time. Nobody's going to block that one. It's a smooth stroke. And Wembanyama reigns in a mid-range jumper with Holmgren on the bench. It was a rare matchup with those two going one-on-one against each other. Giddey, great ball handler, as is Micic. Ball handlers everywhere. Oh, nice fake. Wembanyama gets the block, but a foul. It'll be a tee on the teenager, who quickly apologizes to J.B. DeRosa.
Yeah, I understand this is how they're taught to call a technical foul, but all he did was try to bounce the ball to himself hard, and it got away. I don't understand why we don't let the referees exercise their judgment on that.
Yeah.
There's no way I can guarantee you that J.B. DeRosa wanted to call a technical on that. I have another problem with that play. Because he was fouled, we don't give Wembanyama credit for a block shot on that. But the bottom line is, if he doesn't block it, Giddey can get a 3-point play, the basket would count. So he is taking away a basket. Why would he not get credit for the block shot?
Very nice. The suggestion box is filling up here in November.
I always want to be helpful, and I'm usually trying to be helpful to the referees, but I also want to be helpful to the NBA and their statistics crew.
That's good. It's a good call. You're just a giver, Stan. It's good to be back with you.
Try to serve people.
What's left of you? The ever-shrinking Stan Van Gundy. Giddey got a hand on that, knocks it out of bounds.
Mark Dagnall's got to be very, very happy with his defense and how active they've been. Now they're in that 1-2-2 zone again. Very active with their hands, in passing lanes, very disruptive.
Yeah, got the steals, the deflections, forcing 8 turnovers. Inside Wembanyama, too hot to handle for him.
It was the right look by Vassell, but you're throwing a bullet to a guy. Get the ball up. Greg Popovich was talking about that before the game. Throw the ball high to Wembanyama. He's pretty tall.
Yeah, he is, but it does, you know, guys you played with your whole life, it's just a different area code you're passing the ball to as Vassell steps into one. Nice looking stroke. So the two things that are at play with the Spurs is Wembanyama getting his feet into the NBA, but also those playing with Wembanyama to try to figure out how to play with him and areas to put the passes that you've never attempted before.
No, I'm going to bet most of these guys have never played with a 7'4" guy before.
Here's Jalen Williams, and he rattles one in.
Well, that's the threat that both centers have from Oklahoma City, to be able to step out and shoot the three.
Rebounding numbers get a lot better with Jalen Williams on the floor. Missed the first 5 games. This is his 6th game back. Here's Vassell driving, runs into a wall in Wallace, but scores it anyway.
Vassell's offensive confidence, as Greg Popovich said before the game, very, very high.
Good ball movement here. Started with Giddey. Williams gets inside, looking for a cut. Gets one from Williams. Oh, he is met at the rim. Williams looks hurt. Wembanyama kicks it, no look. And Vassell has it knocked out of his hands. Jalen Williams up slowly and limping.
Great cut. Excellent defense. There's no foul there. It's simply the ball runs into a wall and the momentum takes him down. Oklahoma City fans not happy. I think it's a good non-call. I don't think there's a foul there. And lost in the shuffle was Wembanyama rebounding and leading the fast break at 7-4, and a great dish to Vassell, even though it didn't end up with the finish. You see the skills.
So Vassell at the controls here. 4 to go in this first half. Vassell, 3-pointer is good. He can get it cooking. 7 straight for San Antonio. 44-44, all tied up. Fans still upset that was not called a foul. Clean block by Champagnie. Holmgren lets Sohan fly by. Misses. Lou Dort is fouled. Loose ball foul on Vassell, pulling Dort to the ground. Upcoming national TV schedule, doubleheader on ESPN tomorrow. Celtics and Sixers, and then the Kings and the Lakers in Los Angeles. Friday on ESPN, it's back into the in-season tournament and group play. Kings will be taking on the Spurs in San Antonio, and the Jazz will host the Suns. Just log on to the app, the NBA app. Go to NBA.com for more. We are in in-season tournament mode here tonight. Thunder are 0-2 in group play, so they have to win tonight and win out to have a chance at the knockout rounds. They lose tonight, obviously they're out of it. San Antonio is 0-1 thus far. Thunder comes in 6-4. They're 5th in the West. Spurs 3-7 down at the bottom of the West, but those are the in-season tournament standings for Group C in the West.
Minnesota and Golden State both at 1-0 play each other tonight, so somebody will take charge of this group.
Malachi Branham trying to get free. Late clock, takes on Gilgeous-Alexander. Scores it. Malachi Branham.
Well, we saw this from him last year. He had several big games late in the year, and he can score the ball. The Spurs, like the Thunder, have a lot of talented young guys.
Holmgren turns it over. And now the Spurs, who just took the lead on that Branham jumper, and a chance to add to it here with 3:01 remaining. Bassie will sit. Zach Collins back on the floor. Sohan at the point. Guarded by Giddey. Holmgren gets Collins here. And they're looking for the hot hand in Vassell. Vassell feeling it right now. Wow.
Oh, and he's doing that, or doing this, on an outstanding defender in Lou Dort.
Vassell's got 11 here in this first half. Giddey sets up Dort. A breakdown for the Spurs defensively. And an easy layup. Another assist for Josh Giddey. Both teams sharing the ball well thus far. 2:20 to go in the second quarter. Branham drives it. Branham. No. Giddey with a rebound. Chance for the Thunder to regain the lead. Giddey methodically to the rim. He lays it in. Nobody slowed him down, and Greg Popovich is fuming. Timeout Spurs. Thunder back in front with 2:06 left. And a little punch there for Jared Greenberg.
Hey, honestly, just as a fan, crunch time is a great watch. If you want to follow all the games on a night, that's the way to do it.
Another Spurs turnover. Gilgeous-Alexander going right at Sohan. And the whistle. Gilgeous-Alexander at the free throw line. The Spurs with 10 turnovers now. And the Thunder have a chance to turn it into 10 points with a couple of free throws here, Stan.
Well, one of the problems, look, Oklahoma City's a team that forces a lot of turnovers anyway. But when you're missing a guy like Trey Jones who can run your offense and handle pressure and get you into your sets, you're going to struggle. And the Spurs certainly are tonight.
First points of the quarter for Gilgeous-Alexander. Jetty Osman will sit as Wembanyama returns. Those injuries aren't expected to be serious injuries with Trey Jones, the hamstring, Keldon Johnson, the right knee. Both were questionable to start today, as was Sohan. Sohan, the only of the three who were questionable to start today to play in this game. Branham got that low release, comes up short, and that'll be Thunder basketball. Branham and Devin Vassell, big scoring quarters here. Vassell really got it cooking in this second quarter. At one point, it scored 9 of 11 for the Spurs. Gilgeous-Alexander, a hot pass.
Kicked ball.
Reset the timer to 14. Thunder had a big improvement last year. They won 16 more games inside, and Gilgeous-Alexander lays it in. Sohan gonna get a flop warning here.
No, that's not just a warning, that's a technical foul.
Gilgeous-Alexander will do the honors, you're right.
The flop this year, called by the referee immediately, and then the first break, which happened immediately here. And that is certainly an exaggerated reaction by Sohan, a good call by the referees. And I like that, rather than fining the players, which I don't think really did anything. The team's penalized right away. They lose another point, so.
Yep, and it's a $2,000 fine, and it increases as you go. And for the most part, players have adjusted. As Wembanyama, a little tough turnaround, no good. Thunder on a 9-0 run. Coming to the end of the second quarter, can add to it. Three-pointer, no good. And a bouncing rebound to Gilgeous-Alexander, who drives it, leaves it, and Williams scores.
Well, Wembanyama ran out, and the ball came right back to Gilgeous-Alexander.
Don't see many rebounds make it to the three-point line. Bad pass, Wembanyama, another San Antonio turnover. Gilgeous-Alexander going fast, 2-for-1 chance. Giddey, no good. Vassell the rebound. Oklahoma City on a run here.
Question for you. Every time we see 2-for-1 all the time, how often have you seen the team that goes for 2-for-1 score twice and get a stop?
Yeah, rarely, Coach.
Rarely, I can't even remember one.
Wembanyama up top, the pass was too low. Got to go higher with the 7-4 guy. Giddey, fake pass, then gives it up for Holmgren. Playmaking. Josh Giddey. Wembanyama lets it go, and that'll take us to the end of the first.